All right, today we're diving into a really profound story. It's about a man who, at 70 years old, faces a life-threatening crisis. And instead of it being the end, it becomes a complete rebirth. It's a journey that takes him from just surviving to searching for real deep significance. It's a powerful one.
And this quote right here really sets the stage for everything. Bid farewell to the old and usher in the newborn. You know, it's all about making a conscious choice to leave your old self behind and step into a brand new existence. It's about being reborn right from the ashes of a crisis.
Okay, so let's get into it. The story kicks off not with some slow, gradual warning, but with a sudden, totally overwhelming crisis. It just appears out of nowhere on what was supposed to be a completely normal day.
So, picture this. We're following a 70-year-old man, seems perfectly healthy. He's out for a walk with his grandkids. Then, bam! He's suddenly hit with this wave of terrifying symptoms. Weakness, his chest gets tight, there's pain radiating down his arm. And at first, he just brushes it off. He thinks, oh, it must be an allergic reaction to the poppy seed bagel I had for breakfast. I mean, who wouldn't? But then, the next day it comes back. And this time, it's with a vengeance. There's no denying it now. He knows exactly what's happening. This is a heart attack.
But here's what's so interesting. This moment, it wasn't a total shock. You see, for 30 years, he'd been managing high cholesterol and high blood pressure. Plus, it ran in his family. His dad had a stroke at 64. So in the back of his mind, he kind of knew this day might be coming. And he prepared for it. He relied on really vigorous exercise to keep his body as strong as possible, holding on to this belief that when this fight finally came to his doorstep, he'd be ready for it.
And this quote, wow. This just reveals everything about his mindset as he's rushing to the hospital. I'm done. Come on, accept my destiny and face the moment bravely. There's no panic, right? It's this incredible, courageous acceptance of a fight he knew was coming. Just a moment of pure, profound clarity.
Okay, so now we're at the hospital. And this is where his personal crisis slams right into a global one. It just creates this atmosphere of insane tension and uncertainty.
I mean, try to imagine this. You're in the middle of a heart attack. And you show up to an ER in Los Angeles, right at the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic. There are 6-foot lines, masks everywhere, temperature checks. All these protocols that were meant to keep people safe were also creating this intense feeling of isolation. His son couldn't even stay with him. He had to face this whole ordeal completely alone.
So after all the tests, the EKGs, X-rays, the blood work, the doctors get a reading. One single critical number that tells them everything. It tells them just how much danger his heart is in, and that number was 3.5.
So what does that number even mean? Well, it's a measure of something called troponin. Think of it like this. Troponin is a protein that only gets released into your blood when your heart muscle has been damaged. A normal, healthy level is 0. His was 3.5, and it was still rising. This was the absolute, undeniable proof that he was having a major heart attack. And just like that, he's at this massive crossroads. The cardiologist, Dr. Chen, basically lays out 3 potential outcomes. Path number 1, it's a minor blockage. They just need to inflate a little balloon. Path 2, it's more severe and he's going to need a stent to keep the artery propped open. Or path 3, there are multiple blockages and they'll have to schedule a major open heart bypass surgery. The craziest part? He wouldn't know which it was until he was literally on the operating table. And then, the wait began. An agonizing wait. Delays kept pushing his procedure back, so he spent an entire night and then most of the next day just lying in that hospital bed, hooked up to all these machines, with his life just hanging in the balance. He said that one night felt like 3 years. I can only imagine. All right, but this is the turning point. This is where the whole ordeal ends and a brand new life begins. And it's all marked by a successful surgery and a date on the calendar that honestly couldn't be more perfect. He wakes up and it's January 1st, 2021, New Year's Day. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. The very first day of a new year becomes the very first day of his new life. It's just such a powerful symbol for a fresh start.
And his words just capture that feeling of renewal perfectly. Without angina, the body feels full of yang. It was truly marvelously reborn on New Year's Day 2021. The surgery worked. They placed 1 stent in his right coronary artery, and just like that, the constant pain was gone. He felt full of energy, full of yang. It wasn't just about surviving anymore. This was a true, marvelous rebirth.
But you know, a rebirth like this, it requires serious commitment. His recovery became his new full-time job. It was this meticulous three-part plan: a super strict diet, low cholesterol, low fat, low salt, a whole new cocktail of medications to prevent any future issues, and on top of that, cardio rehab 3 times a week. And he didn't fight it. He embraced the whole thing.
Okay, so when you go through something like that, it kind of forces you to ask the big questions, right? With his body now on the mend, his focus makes this huge shift, away from the physical and towards the spiritual. He started asking himself, okay, I got a second chance at life. Now what am I supposed to do with it?
And he ends up finding a really powerful way to think about this new chapter in David Brooks' book, The Second Mountain. It's like it gave him the exact language, the perfect framework to finally understand this huge internal shift that was happening inside him.
So let's break down this idea because it's pretty brilliant. The first mountain, well, that's the life most of us are taught to climb. It's all about the self, right? Ego, career, personal success, getting more stuff. But the second mountain is totally different. The focus shifts from me to we. The goals aren't about wealth and fame anymore. They're about deeper things like joy and meaning. And it's all driven by commitment, not ego. And this whole second mountain thing isn't just some fuzzy, feel-good concept. Nope. It's built on 4 really concrete commitments that give your life purpose beyond just yourself. There's commitment to your family and your community, commitment to a real vocation, a calling, a commitment to a philosophy or a faith, and finally, a commitment to a life of service.
And to really cement this new philosophy, he does something incredible. He gives himself a new name, Sing. And this one little character is packed with meaning. It's a daily reminder of his new path. It means to walk, for his health. It means okay, as in self-sacrifice and humility. And it means to practice, for his spiritual journey. It's all right there in that one name. So in the end, his incredibly personal story of survival and rebirth kind of leaves us all with a pretty universal question. For 70 years, he climbed that first mountain of worldly success. But now he's on his second mountain, and he's chasing a totally different kind of summit. And it really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? After we've climbed our own first mountain, what will our second mountain be?